Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. Today it's time to do the top 10 games of all time, and I'm Joseph, of course, and here I have Draco and...
Hello, my name is Keith.
Hello, my name is Andreas.
And as you know, you've seen these guys in videos all through the year, so now it's time to hear what they think of in regards of best games. And Andreas, you were in here last year as well.
Yep.
I hope that your list has improved a bit.
There are some changes to it.
It was pretty good.
Are you saying it was bad last year?
Well, it was pretty good. Keith, though, I have no idea what kind of games... well, I have some idea. We play games together, but...
It says here that my list is the best.
Yeah.
It's written right here.
So it's already... Alright, so first of all, I would like to do some honorable mentions, because now I did my top 50, so this is the last part, of course, of the top 50 list, but there were some games that I played after I did the top 50 list, because I put the deadline at November 6th after Essen, and so, yeah, but before I do that, I know that Keith has some honorable mentions as well.
Yes, my honorable mentions, the ones that didn't quite make the cut for the top 10, is Puerto Rico. Great Euro game, but it's been pushed off the list by a different game. And then there's Seven Wonders Duel, which is also a very good two-player only game, but it's been pushed off by a different.
How is that possible?
It is
Same
very
here.
possible.
Same here. Not on top 10.
Yes, and then
Just outside.
the last one is Orleans. Also, just
That's a bit of a shocker. I thought that was like your number 3 or something.
Yeah.
He always wants to play Orleans.
very close to the top 10. But
So it's like 11.
yeah.
Okay. Alright, Andreas, do you have some...
Yeah, I have a few as well. Mansion of Madness, 2nd edition. Enjoyed that game very much. Roll for the Galaxy. Was on the top 10 last year. Fell off. Seven Wonders Duel, Concordia, not top 10. Dominion, and Istanbul.
Alright, so that's 15 basically.
Dominion and Istanbul was also on the top 10 last year.
Oh yeah, okay.
Fell off.
Yeah. Alright, and I want to mention 3 games that would probably have made the top 50 if they have been played before I set the deadline. The first one is Concordia, actually. I played it recently with these guys. Really fun game, really fit my mind in a sort of my mindset, how to think in a game, how to plan, and all that Euro stuff. So it will probably be on the list next year. And also I played just last night, actually, I played Charterstone for the first time, and that is a game that I don't know, but it might make the top list as I play those 10 games. We'll see how it goes. Me and Draco, we had a lot of fun last night at least. So, and then finally, one game that might even make the top 10 if it keeps its promise as it's looking now, and that's Gloomhaven. Really, really cool game. I really enjoyed it so far. I haven't gotten that far into the campaign yet, so there's like 100 hours left. But, but I think that one can really become one of my really favorite games. So that was the sort of intro. Let's head to number 10, shall we?
Yep.
All right. And so it's time for number 10, and let's start with Andreas.
Yes, my number 10 this year is Fields of Arl.
Ah.
A 2-player worker placement game done by Uwe Rosenberg. It has everything that I like about worker placement, farming, everything. It's maybe the best game Uwe has done. Maybe.
I would not have guessed that one.
Why not?
I don't know. I would have guessed that you picked a different Rosenberg game.
Yeah, there might be others.
I know. There's others on your list.
You think so?
I
Yeah, there might be. You played it too, Joseph.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I like it. I think. Oh, by the time you're watching this, you know what number it is. I think it's like number 30 or something on my list. Somewhere there.
Yeah.
It's on my top 50 at least.
Yeah. So it's that's my number 10.
All right. My number 10, I have to check here. Because I did some changes as well. So my number 10 is a game from Stonemaier Games. It's my favorite Stonemaier game, and it's not Sight. So it's Viticulture. Viticulture, especially with the Tuscany expansion, that really improved the game. The base game was fun as well, but with the Tuscany expansion, you can do so much more. There's 4 seasons. You have the whole what's it called? Buildings. You can build. You have. Oh, it's so good. And I even played with the expansion from Rosenberg that adds more visitors. That's fun as well, even though I don't know the balance on those. That was crazy.
Yeah, there are some cards seem a bit imbalanced.
I even sent like an email to Jamie Stegmaier telling him like, should this really be in the game? And he was like, just ignore it if you don't like it.
But I also prefer the game with the expansion.
Yeah,
with the seasons.
Makes it much better. That was Viticulture was also almost just didn't make it into the
top 10. It's not on your top 10?
No,
oh my, oh wow.
Yeah.
This is so confusing. Well, yeah. All right, let's go to your number 10.
My number 10 is Flamme Rouge. It's a game about bicycle racing. You play cards, you program your racer, decide how far he's going to move, and then everyone reveals in order how far they moved. So you can put in a number 9, but everyone's in front of you in the way, so you only move 5 steps.
Yeah.
You want to get so that you get drafting, free movement, so you don't have to get the wind resistance and exhaust your rider.
Yeah.
It really feels like a real race because all the cards you use, it's like a reverse deck builder. You discard them, you can't use them again.
Yeah.
So at the end of the race, you're sort of trying to cross the finish line with an exhausted rider. And especially with the new expansion where you have the single lane streets, it is...
Supports up to 6 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
great
good.
racing game.
A lot of tension and laughing and so on in that game.
Very, very simple mechanics, but there's always, you're making interesting decisions, trying to see what other people are trying to do.
Yeah.
That's my number 10.
So then let's head to number 9.
So my number 9 is Captain Sonar, and I don't think any of you have played that yet. It is amazing, real time. It's like Battleship meets hide and seek. It's one of those games where it shows what board gaming really can be. You can't do this on a computer. You have to have all people in the same space. You have the radio operator sitting trying to listen what the other team is trying to do and calling out, trying to figure out where they are, what they're trying to do. And it's just amazing. Works. You have to have at least about 6 people to play it real time. You can play it turn-based with less, but it's not as good. With real time, it's a great game. It just really shows what board gaming can be.
I seen it played at game night, and everybody seemed to have a really good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to try that one.
Mm-hmm. Very chaotic, but very fun.
All right, so my number 9 is an old classic, sort of. It's Agricola.
Number 9.
Yeah, it's number 9. It was actually, let me see here. It was number 3 last year, so it really dropped down. What? But it's basically because I haven't played it much this year, and also it got some competition in some ways. I think I don't know. It's really hard to But Agricola is a great game, and I really enjoy it, especially with the expansion that adds a few things that's really vital. I think with having to warm your house and so on. So it's a classic worker placement game from Rosenberg, and Agricola is my number 9.
Right. My number 9 has already been mentioned.
Oh.
Is it Flamme Rouge?
Yeah, Flamme Rouge.
Flamme Rouge, yes. It replaced... Last year I had an very old game, Ave Caesar, as number 10. Because it's such a good racing game, but Flamme Rouge is amazing. So everything you said earlier, it holds true. I hope I get the expansion for Christmas. Otherwise I have to buy it. Yeah, so number 9, Flamme Rouge.
All right, so let's head to number 8.
Alright, so time for number 8. So my number 8 is 5 Tribes. 5 Tribes was on the list last year as well. Number 5 last year. Dropped down, haven't played it as much this year. There are a lot of new games. Joseph brings a lot of new games every week.
And
Keith. And myself also buy some games. But 5 Tribes is this abstract puzzle game. It's a game where you really improve every time you play it. I need to give the game more love.
I like that it
play
has.
it.
I like that it has. I played it once with you,
Yeah.
and I like that it has the what's it called, like Mancala system, where you pick stuff up and you drop it as you go. You have to drop one from each face.
What's it called? Mancala?
Mancala
I
is
didn't
like
know it.
old like
Yeah.
stones and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to drop and Mancala is a rondelle as well.
All right.
It's like in Trajan.
Yeah.
But then you drop stuff as you go, and I mean there are different colors, meeples. So there's a lot of thinking in that game. And
there are a lot of interesting options what you do, and it's also very good for 2 players. I think it's best with 2 or 4 players. When you have 2 players, you do 2 turns every round.
Yeah.
So you can set up so you have the best thing is if you go second and third, so you can do something on your second turn to do an even better thing on.
Oh yeah, you can set yourself up.
Yeah, it's very good. So it's very good for 2 players as well. So yeah, number 8.
All right, my number 8 is Robinson Crusoe: Adventures on the Cursed Island. This one has been rising this year a lot for me since I got the 2nd edition, or actually it's the 4th edition, but it looks like the 2nd edition. And one might say, well, it's the same game. It is, but I enjoy those little meeples a lot. I enjoy all the little fiddly things that they sort of fixed in the game. So this is, I think it's so good. I mean, I enjoy playing it solo, where I can really dive deep into the whole thinking
Have you tried
process.
the Beagles?
I haven't tried the expansion. I should do that.
Yeah, I have it.
I'm a big fan of the whole Darwin history.
Voyage of the Beagle, the expansion is very good. Very good.
I'll have to borrow that from you.
Yeah, that is.
My number 8 is Concordia. This was the first Euro game in my top 10. It was the game that pushed off Puerto Rico. I just love the action selection. You have your whole hand of cards, and you're discarding them and trying to decide when to take them back. You buy the new ones, and they go straight into your hand. You can use them right away. You have a chance to copy other people's, what they've played, and just so many different ways to win. You can try and focus on one specific product, or you can try and focus on spreading yourself out as much as possible. Focus on gathering certain cards, you get lots of points.
Yeah,
I love that there's so many different maps as well.
Yeah, so you can really pick a map that suits how many players you are. If you're 2 players, you play Britannia. If you're 5, you play the big Italy map. And it's a very nice Euro game. It's like you can build as much as you want, as much as you can afford.
And you can't block each other. I mean, it costs a bit more if you already built there, but it's not like...
Yeah, it's very, very nice. Probably one of my favorite Euro games of all time.
Yeah, very good.
All right, so let's head to number 7.
Okay, and my number 7 is Blood Rage.
Blood Rage.
I just love this, the area control, the drafting, putting your Vikings, getting the big monsters with the big effects, coming in and just changing it. The different strategies, you can go for questing, or you can go for trying to pillage as much as you can. Push your stats up as much as you can, or just try and go for killing your guys as much as you can. Getting points that way is just always fun.
All right, Blood Rage is awesome. I know Draco likes it as well. He likes those miniatures. They look a bit like him, some of them, sort of.
Yeah.
Serpent. That's like one of I think of Draco's dreams. If you're watching this, Eric Lang, then if you make a Draco promo. That would be so awesome to have Draco in the game. Some meeple.
I'm not into war games so much, but it's one of the best war games I've played.
It's a Euro war game.
It's very Euro, and there's very little RNG. You have the cards for the battling. There's no dice or anything.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so my number 7 is a game that was number 9 last year, so it's moved up a bit, and it's because it got an expansion, and it's called Nations, the dice game. And I really like this game. For me, it went from being a 9 basically out of 10, and went to a 10 with that expansion, the Unrest expansion that came out at Essen. And now I'm cheating a bit, I just realized, because I said earlier that I didn't include S and stuff. But anyway, so good, so good. You have these dice that you're rolling, and you get different kind of resources. You use these resources to purchase buildings or military and so on, to increase your power, you get new tokens, you use them. I love the engine building in that game. It's like 30 to 45 minutes, and you still get this great engine building feel in it. And I think that's amazing how Rustan Håkansson managed to do that in just this small game. And the new expansion added a few things, like whoever passes first gets a bonus. I love that.
Yeah, those are really good. And then those yellow tiles that you flip over,
bonus tiles,
other stuff. Those green dice are evil.
Yeah.
You roll the fist, the unrest one, and you can't do anything.
No, you have to spend your time taking care of the uprising, the unrest in your nation.
Last time I played, I spent 3 turns just trying to read.
Yeah, and it's like a balance between, they have these new reroll tokens that you can reroll and then you can do an action right away. So they make you play faster. But if you do use the green dice, they are really good, but they might make you play slower because you have to reroll them. So it's a nice balance. I love how he did that expansion. That's amazing. You have to try it out.
Yeah, I haven't played the expansion yet, but I thought it would be higher on your list actually, because you're praising it a lot.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's a game that I'm almost always bring with me to gaming nights and so on, because it's just so fast.
Because it's dice, that's why it's so low.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my number. Was it 7? Number 7.
So my number 7, The Voyages of Marco Polo. Have you played it yet, Keith?
I want to play it.
You haven't played it.
I'm a really big fan of Rainer Knizia.
So it's a game where you try to relive the journey for Marco Polo, and the game is like it's such a Euro game. The randomness is when you roll the die in the start of the round, but if your die results are low, you get some compensation for it. But what really makes it like there are a lot of good Euro games there, but what makes it special for me is the different player characters, and they all seem so imbalanced.
Yeah,
but that's so funny.
Everybody starts out different.
Yeah, so last time we played, I think you had a guy who could choose the pip value.
I didn't need to roll my dice at all. I just chose whatever I wanted.
It's like, how come that like you have to win with that? You like
I didn't win.
Exactly, because I had another character which was like super good as well, and like every character seems so amazing.
It seems imbalanced, but
but it also makes you like every time you play it, if you play with a new character, you have to adapt to the character, sort of. Like it makes like you can. For me, I hadn't like I played a con guy with my like when I placed my die upon other players, I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah, normally you have to pay like
which is I was like, all right, I don't have to get money in this game.
Yeah, you didn't need to stress, because if we placed earlier than you, it doesn't matter, because you can just place on top of us. Otherwise, you just sort of course, like it's like a worker placement game. It is a worker placement game, but with dice. So you have to like place. If I'm placed first, then I don't need to pay for my actions. So.
But that is like what stands out about the game is the character, and
that's awesome.
And also it has like there are a lot of cities on the map, and what they do differs every game as well. But the characters are the best.
And that's on my top 50 as well, somewhere. I'm not going to say a number because I remember.
So that was my number 7.
All right, so let's go to number 6.
So my number 6 is Puerto Rico. I think it is the best game for 5 players, the best Euro game for 5 players. The way when you select when it's your turn, you select a role, and you get a little bonus from it, and everyone else can also do the action. It's so satisfying. It's very like you can become good in this game as well.
Yeah.
Like you have to. I think you played it for the first time or something this fall, and you were like, I don't think I can play this game because you're so like you played it so many times.
It's similar to 5 Tribes in that sense that I feel like sure I can play it with you, but I'm not going to win for a while. I'm going to have to play it, and I don't have time for that. So it's something about the game. It plays fast with 5 players. It's rare, I think.
this type of heavy Euro game.
It would need a deluxe version, though. I think it's really ugly.
Yeah, my version. I have the first version. I think it's
It's a very old Euro
and I have
look to it.
I have a Swedish/Finnish edition. So if I flip the tiles, it's in Finnish, and it's hard to understand.
It's also one of the few games where you're sitting has an impact.
Yeah.
You want to be sitting to the left of the new guy because that's the best for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's also the same in Five Tribes. Like if the new guy makes a bad move, he will set it up for you. So,
exactly.
But in Five Tribes, it's not.
No, it's not. Now it's true, but you want to be sort of act
exactly.
beginner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Puerto Rico is a good game. I have to say it's not on my top 50, and that's just mainly for the reason that I got so late to the party.
But we'll play it.
Yeah,
eventually.
Force them.
After all these new games have been played.
So that was my number 6.
All right. So my number 6 was number 4 last year, so it hasn't really moved. Actually, it's just it's really tight between those positions, and it's called Sid Meier's Civilization, and it's a game that I play like 3 times a year, something like that. It's not a game that hits the table that often. I don't think any of you have played it.
No.
It's just so awesome. I mean, since I was a kid, I played Civilization on the computer. I think Sid Meier's Civilization does a good job of replicating that in a board game. And it does it in a few hours instead of, in the computer game it's like a few days. But it's a great game. Now I have to mention though that just today actually I'm going to, after we're done here, I'm going to pick up a New Dawn, Sid Meier's Civilization, A New Dawn. And in that one, they claim to have made a game in 2 hours that feels epic. So that's going to be really interesting to try out. It has the same sort of mechanics, really nice components and so on. So I'm going to be excited to check that one out. By the time you watch this, there's already been a run-through up on the channel as well. So Sid Meier's Civilization, the old one, sort of, is my number 6.
Yeah, I also just want to mention, I also play the computer game a lot, but the game you were mentioning it's not 2 hours, right?
No, it's more like 4 or 5, 6.
4 hours. And for me now, I have small kids. It's hard to play a game that takes 4, 5, 6 hours, and if so, it competes with other great games that is not on my list, like Through the Ages, which I love, but I never play it. I do use the app though. It's very good.
I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah, but I'm really, really, really excited about the new version.
Yeah, I think you're going to like it.
If it is in 2 hours, it's going to be perfect.
It has a new mechanic as well. Like in the old one, it's basically dudes on a map, and you move them around, and you have like, this guy can go move 3 spaces, you move him, and then you have your cities you're building up. Each building is actually a tile that you put down. It really looks nice, but it takes time. The new one has a system similar to some other games where you have 5 cards. You have 5 action cards. Okay. And you put them in an order, and you can do any one of them, but depending on where they are different. You get stronger as on the scale, and when you use one, you have to move it over to. Then it's the weakest one.
Okay.
And then it's so it's a totally different game in terms of mechanics, but it has the same theme. So, all right, my number 6. So, what do you have for?
My number 6 is a 2-player game from Fantasy Flight Games.
Oh, I know what it is.
It's Star Wars Rebellion, which is this really feels. I know you say Blood Rage is a war game, but for me it's more a Euro. This Star Wars Rebellion really fills the war game niche for me.
All right.
The Empire versus Rebellion, especially with the new expansion, made the combat so much better. You're playing the cards instead of rolling the dice. I love that as the Rebellion, you have to have a different focus. You're playing the hide and seek game, trying to keep the Empire away, trying to do your objectives so that you move that time marker up. And just each game is completely different. Like last time I played against Max, Leia killed Darth Vader. He managed to find my rebel base. I managed to hold him off and escape and move my base somewhere else. This is just really great. It has the war game part, but it also has the sort of the hide and seek part of it.
I haven't played it because my wife doesn't like conflicts in games.
Yeah,
and it's a 2-player game, so
yeah.
I think it's amazing. I played it the first time with Max, and I was a rebel, and I really felt that game really made me feel afraid. I really felt like he's all over the place. I have no chance. He's going to find me. I have no, and I actually made it. He was like the last planet that he didn't look at. That's where my base was.
And with the Empire going, where are the rebels? And going, and every time the rebels do something, the rebels, what did they do? The rebels come.
It's so thematic.
It's great.
Awesome,
it just captures the whole feel of the Empire fighting and the rebellion. It's
great.
Amazing game.
I have to play it.
Yeah, you have to play it.
But,
you should play it with one of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was number 6, and we'll head to number 5.
Okay, so my number 5 is the first co-op game on my top 10.
First co-op.
And this is actually 2 games in sort of one.
I know what it is.
And this is Pandemic Legacy Season 1 and 2. I decided to combine them, otherwise they were sort of taking up 2 spots on the top 10. And I sort of feel they're so similar that...
Yeah.
And especially it's the same game, just different seasons. So.
Yeah, just Pandemic Legacy.
Yes, and I might say at least where I'm at right now, we're sort of halfway through Season 2, but so far I think Season 2 is better than Season 1. But,
and we're playing it together. I think it's awesome as well.
Yeah, and there's no other game that I've played where like with the group that in between plays we'll be sitting talking online to each other like, oh, what should we do next time? Should we try and do this, or do we need to make sure that like we need to save South America, or do we need to?
And we are really bad, which is also fun. We're doing really bad. So
but it's like no other game where I've had those kinds of discussions.
And that games. That's actually honorable mention for me as well, because that's also after I did the list. But that one would have been in the top 50 for sure.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played Season 2 yet because I had it for a while. It's on the shelf, but due to reasons like sickness and stuff, it's winter, so we haven't been able to play it yet. So.
And you have a lot of fun ahead of you. So.
I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Pandemic's Legacy Season 1 and 2. Yeah. My number 5.
Okay, my number 5 was, let's see, no, it wasn't on the list last year, it wasn't here last year. It's a new game, and it's called Great Western Trail. It came out early this year, or late last year, I don't know. Really fun game, really fun Euro game with the deck building. You get your cows together, you move your little pawn on the board, and then you're selling the cows and so on, and you're finally getting to whatever it is, there where you sell all of your cows, all of your hand, and you get money, but you also get sort of a value, and that value tells you how far you can ship the cows, and you need to ship them further and further, otherwise, because you can only ship them to each place once, except for a really bad place, but and the really good one, the best one you can ship. But it's awesome. You have different kinds of strategies you can go for. You can build buildings, you can go for that strategy, you can go for focusing on having your train move further ahead, which gives you other bonuses.
I haven't tried the building strategy.
You haven't?
No.
And still, Andreas has the points high score, I think. We played 4-player game. We did like 135 points or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That's crazy. It's a really fun game, Great Western Trail. That's a game that I will pretty much never say no to if it's brought to the table. I will always play it. It's just so much fun. It was the second best game that came out in 2016 for me. Yeah. I'm not going to mention the first. It's coming later. Okay.
I know this.
Yeah. So that's my number 5, Great Western Trail.
Yes. So my number 5 is also Great Western Trail.
I thought about it. Yeah. Okay.
Should I mention it directly? It's so good. I love the deck building thing mixed into it, and it's amusing that it's cows. It's so something about that. It's the theme is really good.
Yeah, it is, and there's so many different things happening. Like if you build a building, and if I build a building, and these guys have to walk by it, they have to give me money.
Yeah, it's so satisfying to build this like a toll station, or like the house where you pass, so you have to pay me some money, and you're like, we have to like clean the rocks here on the on the outside here.
So we can go around.
I'm like, it's satisfying somehow. Yeah, and when you do these, there are some buildings where you get an extra movement. You do double actions and everything. It
feels different every time you play as well, I think.
Just set up a great combo for yourself.
Yeah, it's your own very, very, very good.
You like this one as well, right?
Yeah, I do. Very good game.
It might be coming, or no?
That was also one of the ones that it didn't make.
Okay.
Number 5. What's that?
Okay, so number 4 time.
So my number 4 was my top, like the best game last year. Do you remember?
Is it Pandemic Legacy?
No.
Terra Mystica?
Terra Mystica.
Ah.
And I'm not sure if this is allowed, but I combined it with the new Terra Mystica. So it occupies the same slot here.
You mean Gaia Project?
Yeah, so number 4 is Terra Mystica and Gaia Project, because it's sort of the same game, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna play Terra Mystica any longer, because Gaia Project is awesome. We participated in the beta this spring. Was so much fun. It is this open information ultimate epic game. It's like where you look at the board at the start and you're like, right, I have to do it like this way.
Yeah.
And the Gaia Project adds so many good things. Instead of, I don't know, appeasing the god, like burning the monks or whatever you're doing, sacrificing them or whatever that is. I can't remember what you're doing. In this game, you are advancing your hyperdrive, or you do things that
it makes sense thematically.
Even though we you can't terraform planets right now. I don't think so, at least. But it's something that I can think maybe we can do it.
Well, you can terraform the green ones, right?
Yeah, he's talking about real life.
Yeah, real life.
Okay.
But it's like the things that you do sort of make sense. So it's my number 4, Terra Mystica / Gaia Project.
I split mine up, so if you've been watching Terra Mystica, it was like 20 something or 30 something.
All right.
But I still love it. It's just that it got pushed down by the other one.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So where are we? Number 5?
4.
4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, number 4 was actually number 1 last year. I had the same thing here where I pushed down my number 1. And Star Wars Imperial Assault was my number 1 last year, but it got pushed down to number 4, basically because there's so many good games, but also because it's a game that it's so hard to bring to the table and play the campaign and all that. I never got into the skirmish that much. There's some communities in Sweden, in some parts of Sweden, that plays this on tournament base and so on. If I lived closer to one of those, I would probably play it skirmish-wise. But I love the campaign, and it just got the companion app finally. Yeah. I've been waiting for that for a year, and they decided to release it at the same week that I got Gloomhaven, Charterstone, Fallout, new Civilization game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will get to that one as well. By the time you're watching this, it's already been on the channel, I hope, at least. But it looks really nice. It's new scenarios in the app scenarios. It's not the old ones. It's totally new ones.
All right.
Sort of made for playing as either pure co-op game or as a solo game. I will play it solo with 4 characters, I think, because I've been playing it solo with both sides because I love the game so much, which is crazy. But now I can play it focus on the rebels only.
Yeah.
So that's something I look forward to playing more of, actually. And it might rise on my list after I play the app as well for next year.
Yeah, and I played it, but I've been waiting now for the companion app, so I can borrow the game from you, so I can play it with my co-op group.
Yeah. It's only 6 boxes, so.
Perfect.
They haven't added all the content yet. I have all the content, and Martin is painting my set as well, so we're going to get paint there. I started painting it myself, but that looked so terrible. So
are you going to wait until he's done before you start playing?
No, I don't have the patience for that. So that's my number 4, Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Nice.
My number 4 is a game that I'm pretty sure is on neither of your lists. It is a 2-player game, and it is Twilight Struggle, which is...
I haven't played that.
I haven't played that.
Very good. It is probably one of the most thematic games, wherein you have a hand of cards, and you can do stuff with your cards, but if there is an enemy event on that card, it triggers. So you need to know when to play it at the right time. And it sort of mimics that Cold War struggle of that I have these things that are going to help you, but I need to decide sort of when to do it.
Okay.
And there's also the 1 versus 1. I really like that. It's head to head. That it changes throughout. You start with the early war, then you move into the mid-war. There's different events. Then you move into the late war, which even more powerful events, and that the sort of the balance of power shifts where the USSR has the advantage in the early war versus in the late war, the US has the power or the advantage, and that you can just make your opponent lose by making him have to go down to DEFCON 1, or you can go by points.
Okay. I really want to play this.
Especially with the scoring cards that you can play. So you have to play them when you can get the most out of them, or when your opponent can get the least out of them.
How long is the game?
It takes maybe like 1 to 2 hours. Probably 1 hours, 1.5 hour if both players are experienced. 2 hours or more. But it's one of those games where the more you know, the more you've played it, the better you can play it, because you need to know sort of what cards could come up so that you don't sort of back yourself into a corner or walk right into a trap. So you need to have played at least once to know sort of which events could come up. But that is my number 4, Twilight Struggle.
Nice. All right. And now it's time for number 3. Now we're getting into really hot games.
Okay, my number 3 is a game that came out this year. It is a 2-player game, and it is Legends of the Five Rings, the card game.
All right.
I was
not on my list.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think any of you have this on your list. I was struggling for a while deciding should I add it. It would be like adding like Hearthstone, but I've played it so much, and it's sort of occupied such a huge space of my mind, and it's.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, it's perfect.
And it's like it's made me decide to go to the UK Games Expo specifically just to play this.
Yeah, you're going
in tournaments. Yeah. And I just love that it's compared to Hearthstone. It's very low on the RNG side, and it's very much back and forth. You decide to make an attack, and then it's sort of back and forth. I play this, you play that. I play this, you play that. Sort of trying to decide how bad do you want the attack to win or not. And that also that your guys don't die, but they'll go away if you don't invest more of your resources in them.
All right.
So you can play a guy who costs like 4 fate or mana, if you will, if you're into Magic or Hearthstone. But you can decide to spend 3 extra on him so that he'll stick around for 3 turns more, other than just coming out and then leaving another turn. And you have all the different 7 clans, I think it is, and they all play completely differently. And you can win by just trashing your opponent's all of his stuff, or win by getting him down to 0 honor, or winning by going up to 25 honor. And it's just an amazing 1 versus 1 game. You can just like buy 1 or 2 core sets and just get going that way.
I mean, I felt a bit interested at first when it came out, but I don't dare to get into it because I think there's so much. I mean, there's so much time investment you need to do in such a game, in a living card game. So I tend to stay away from it.
It's a very deep hole to go down. But I like it down in that hole.
Expensive as well?
Not very expensive at all.
Oh, all right.
It's not like Magic where you have to buy random packs.
Yeah, okay.
You buy the core set so you know what you get. The only downside is to get a full set of cards, you maybe have to buy 1 or 2 extra core sets, but the core sets are like 35 euros, 30 euros.
But you have to like do stuff in advance.
You have to make the deck.
You make the decks before.
Exactly.
It's like.
I think that's where it breaks for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like doing stuff.
I like that, tweaking my deck, especially.
Yeah, I think I like it, but I don't have the time.
Okay.
For me personally, I don't have that time.
Yeah.
Or if I were to use that, I have to sacrifice other
I love the tweaking my deck, thinking, okay, what are other people going to be playing, especially people who I play with nearby. Like, what are they going to be playing? Would they have that card? Are they going to play this clan? Okay, maybe I'll play this. Maybe I'll add this, just specifically to counter that.
Cool.
I just love it. It's scratching that itch that like Hearthstone and those kind of card games usually fill. That's my number 3.
All right. My number 3 was number 6 last year. moved up a bit, and it's because I play the expansion a lot, and it's called Seven Wonders Duel. It's a 2-player game. It's the best 2-player game ever made, that I played at least. So good, and the expansion just added everything that we needed for it, I think, because I was feeling a bit like, before the expansion, I felt a bit like it got too stricted. Like, I do this, then I know that you're going to do, and we go back and forth. Yeah. With the expansion, you can mix that up.
The expansion, really, you have to have the Pantheon.
The Pantheon. It's so good with the gods as well. I love the one. I mean, you can be really mean where you can like steal a wonder from the opponent. I love the combo where you can. My favorite wonder, I forgot what it's called, but you get you get 12 gold. You know which one I mean?
Isn't it the? It's not the pyramids.
No, it's pyramids 9 points. Yeah. Anyway, you can build it, get those coins, and then with one of the gods, you can destroy your own wonder and rebuild it. And you get the coins again. It's so much things. So many combos you can find in that game now. And all the stuff with you have in the first round, you have these god markers that if I take this card, it makes another card flip that has the god marker on it. I get that one, then I can get the temples in the third round. There's so much stuff going on. So Seven Wonders Duel is just amazing. I can recommend it to anyone, basically.
Yeah, it was just, I was choosing between it and Fields of Arle for number 10. Yeah. Personally, for me, it's like when I play 2-player games, I play with my wife, and when we get the time to play a 2-player game,
You want a longer one?
Yeah, it's like, alright, we're gonna play. Alright, it's like when the kids are asleep, we're gonna play a game, and we usually try to play. It's like then we're trying to play a game that takes a few hours.
Maybe Twilight Struggle would be something for you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to other games, adventure games, the Seventh Continent.
Oh yeah, Seventh Continent.
Yeah, we're gonna play
Seven Wonders Duel. That's a game that I'll probably always have in my bag when I go to board game meetups, because if there's just like me and another person and it's another game is full or something, you just whip out Seven Wonders Duel. It's super easy to teach and for people to get into.
Takes 30 minutes.
And you can play without the expansion for new people.
Yeah. I usually add the gods because I think without it's a bit.
Oh, the reason Keith likes to bring his is because he has the broken token and stuff as well.
The coins and the metal coins with it.
Right. I just carry mine in both the packs and all that.
Yeah, it's a very good game.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so that's my number. Was it 3? Yeah, 3. Seven Wonders Duel.
So my number 3. I have to shake here. Caverna.
Oh.
Yeah. The best game.
Best Rosenberg.
Yeah, it is.
Or do you have Agricola?
You mean the second best Rosenberg?
Your favorite is A Feast for Odin.
Yeah. Caverna is worker placement game. The best for me. The best game. It's like a buffet when you play. It's like do whatever you want.
And this was lower on your list last year.
I think it was. I have it here. No, same spot.
Oh, same spot. Okay.
Number 3.
It's my number 11.
Yeah. Actually. It's I would say you should not. Like it's for 1 to 7 players, but I would not recommend it to play with 7 players. I don't think so. But I think it's good with up to 5 players. But I think 3 or 4 is probably
even
the best.
5 it drags on a bit.
Like if everyone knows the game on 5. But there are other better games for 5 players. But Caverna, it's build your
cave.
Build your cave and do that. Like,
I'm just
do whatever you
thinking,
want.
if Caverna is a buffet, what is A Feast for Odin? Is it like an all-you-can-eat?
Yeah, but I like Feast for Odin as well, but it's a puzzle thing.
Because they're the board of actions you can choose.
Yeah, but like I'm not too keen on the puzzle thing.
Okay. No, I think they're really different games because the Feast for Odin have the Tetris stuff, and also I get a totally different feeling. I think in a Feast for Odin. I love Caverna as well. Yeah. I mean, I love the theme. I love the. I mean, it doesn't beat Agricola for me, but it's still so good.
I like Agricola as well, but we never play Agricola any longer here because it's. I don't know. It's easier for new players to play Caverna. It's easier for Agricola is harder.
But we have to play Agricola someday. We haven't played it together ever.
Nope.
We have to do it, and you have to play the expansion.
Yeah.
Have you played the expansion? Or
No, you keep telling me, and you're not the first one to tell me.
No, but we should do it. I mean, just,
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. If
I'm
I'm choosing between Agricola and Caverna, I'll choose Caverna.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was on my number 3.
I mean, for me, it was very close. Caverna was 11, Agricola was 9. So yeah. All right. So that was your number
3.
Okay. So only 2 left to go.
All right. So my number 2 has already been mentioned, but I prefer it to not call it like you did. It's Pandemic, but I'm gonna call it Pandemic Series.
Okay.
All right. It's a base game.
Yeah, it's Pandemic, like Pandemic and Pandemic Legacy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a good co-op game.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some of the. We played a lot of the base game, and then we got the and then we played the season 1, and then we got some of the expansions. Like after we played season 1, it was very interesting to see. We were like, they took that part. So the season, like in season 1, that was from this expansion and this expansion. So we have all the expansions here now, but I prefer the. If we talk about the normal base game, it's base game and the first expansion called On the Brink. For me, is the best combination. And then Pandemic Legacy season 1 was amazing. Mm-hmm. We finished in 18 rounds, I think. We were pretty average.
Yeah.
Our game, my co-op group tends to play a bit defensive. I would say we try to like keep the board clean, and but we're not winning every time. So I think we might have to try to be a bit more like take some risks and everything, because either we win comfortably or we don't have the time. The problem is usually that the deck runs out.
Yeah.
We never die due to something else. The deck runs out when we play because we
that never happens.
Yeah, I think it's different styles of play.
Yeah.
So
I'm so excited for when you guys play the season 2, so we can start talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it will happen. I hope hopefully in a week or 2 gonna start.
Sometime this year.
Yeah, sometime this year.
Much
Hopefully.
left.
Yeah. So that was my number 2.
All right.
I think it was number 2 last year as well. Yeah.
Okay, so if you've been following my channel, you've been watching my videos and so on, I guess some of you already know what my top 2 are, but you don't know which order, and now I'm going to reveal it. So my second best game of all time is a game made by a Swede. Jacob Frixelius made Terraforming Mars last year. It's just a wonderful, wonderful game. And I've been talking so much about this game. I think I have my playlist. There's like 35 videos. You can watch solo playthroughs. You can watch run through together with this guy.
Yep.
I did the top 5 different kinds, like top 5 green cards, top 5 effect cards, top 5 expansion ideas.
I have an idea now. You should do top 5 of your
Top 5
of my videos.
Yeah, you should.
Isn't that a bit narcissistic?
Top 5.
It's gonna be awesome.
Rate my own videos.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you've been watching the channel, you know how much I love Terraforming Mars, and I'm not going to explain how the game works because you already know that by now. But I'm just going to mention that I think we played this just a few days ago on 4 players, and I was Viron from the Venus expansion. I love that corporation. But the thing was, I got sort of stuck. I didn't get really anywhere. I couldn't really do that much. But I still had a good time. I had such a good time. I mean, I was looking, what's Andreas doing? And what's Keith doing? I mean, we had a great time. Yeah. And I think your wife, the 4th player, said the same thing. Even though she didn't really get her engine going, she still had a good time playing. I mean, some games I don't get that. Yeah. If I feel like I'm behind in Agricola, if I get sort of, if I miss something or something happens and I couldn't get to where I want, then I'm sort of frustrated. Yeah. I'm sitting there and I feel like I can't.
Yeah, you're very seldom frustrated in Terraforming Mars.
No, I just enjoy it. I played it 50 times almost now. So
we were a bit unsure about how much time we had, so we didn't play with the drafting.
No, the drafting improves.
Yeah, the drafting improves, especially when you add more cards to the game with the expansion.
Yeah.
It's when we played last time, my wife she got that what do you call those moons? The
Jovian type.
Jovian, yeah. And you're quite like you need to find them to get the engine going.
And you found all of the Jovian types and stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Yeah, but with drafting, I think you're more likely to get the cards that you need. And sometimes you can on the flip side,
you still have to draw those cards.
Yeah, and on the flip side, your opponents can not give you those cards.
Yeah,
but it's
I mean, that's a good mechanic added to an already good game.
Yeah.
I mean, for drafting. I mean, I enjoy drafting in like Blood Rage or Seven Wonders. I think it's so.
I think my problem with the game is, as you said, that you can get stuck just through no fault of your own.
But I still enjoy it for some reason. I don't know. I have so much fun with it.
You have to work with what you have. And if you can't play some cards, just build on a map. Build cities.
Yeah, but you need money and stuff to build on that. If you don't have that,
and it's such a great solo game as well. I love it solo. It's one of those games that I can I'm at home and nothing's good on TV and so on. I'm just like, I'll pull out Terraforming Mars, play a solo game. I just, a cup of coffee, some music in the background. It's just so great.
I think Terraforming Mars, it works better solo for me than with people.
One thing I like about the solo game compared to the multiplayer game is that nobody messes with my plans. I like that I can make a whole long plan for everything to happen, and so it's just so good. My number 2, Terraforming Mars.
Okay. My number 2 is another game that also isn't on any of yours lists. I'm pretty sure.
Have we played it at all?
I don't think.
Is it Flux?
Played it. It is not Flux. It is a
Monopoly.
It is from Fantasy Flight Games. It is Battlestar Galactica, the board game.
Yeah, I called
this. This is probably the game that I've played the most of all games. Okay. In the excess, probably 60 or more times, at least since I started logging it, and it's still as good every time. Don't think any other game gives me that sort of emotional response, either when you're sort of trying to figure out who the traitor is, or you're the traitor, or the Cylon as it's called, and just trying to do your dirty work. And also that it's not sort of player elimination. If they find out you're the Cylon, you can just be like, all right, see you guys, and you download into a new body, and you go off to the Cylon fleet spaces and do bad stuff there.
So it's like Dead of Winter. You can live outside the colony, so you can still play the game, keep playing, but
yeah, but you can affect the other people a lot more directly.
Okay.
And it's I like that you always are gonna have 2 Cylons. Well, more if you're playing with more people, but you should probably only be playing this 5 people exactly. Any more or any less, it's not going to be as good.
Would I like it, you think, even if I don't feel anything about the theme? I never watched this series.
I've played this with lots of people who haven't even watched the show, and they get super into it. I've managed to introduce people to the show after they played the game. They're like, oh, this is great, and then they want to go watch the TV show, and is just so much better than any other trader game out there. There are some flaws to it. There are some changes you can make. We usually play with the DEFCON variant, which sort of takes away some of the variance in the Cylon attacks, because sometimes you might get like Cylon attack, one after the other, which is very bad for the humans. Sometimes you might get no Cylon attacks for ages, which is good for the humans. So it has some flaws, but I like to call it's a flawed masterpiece. It is.
All right.
Number 2, Battlestar Galactica.
All right, and now it's exciting. It's time to head into number 1.
Okay, my number 1 is yet another Fantasy Flight game, and also another Fantasy Flight card game. It is Arkham Horror, the card game.
Oh, yeah.
This is works great either solo or all the way up to 4 players. I just love the whole mechanic of that your deck is your character, and as you play, that deck changes. You're gaining experience, which lets you add better cards into your deck. If it goes poorly, you add bad cards into your deck that are going to mess you up if you draw them. It's sort of legacy light, where you're not sort of ripping up stuff or writing, but as you play, that you make some decisions, and those will affect the game further on. You might have a harder time later on because you made some decisions, and now you're gonna have more monsters coming at you, or you have the chaos bags. You don't have any dice. You're drawing these tokens out of the bag, and you can change the bag through decisions you make. So you might add in more bad tokens, and so that fills it up.
And from your description now, I say you're going to love Gloomhaven, because it has basically the same mechanic where you level up and you change cards into your deck, get better modifiers, or you you get cursed and you have a bad new card. So.
What happens like if you play? Can I join a game? Yeah. But you will have a character that is much better than mine.
He'll be better, but also since you've been playing, the longer you play, you are going to be forced to have bad cards, these weaknesses.
All right.
So a fresh character might not have like the higher level shotgun, but he also won't have the weakness that makes him discard his whole hand when he draws that card. And I love that each scenario as well that they release, so you sort of get that campaign over a longer period, and each sort of campaign will add a different twist. One is where you're on a train and you're starting at the back of the train, and the train cars are falling off the bridge that has broken, so you're trying to move as quickly as you can to the front of the train. Anyone who's in the train car that falls off is dead. Well, you don't die, you'll just be out of the game. And one at a time you're at a casino and you're not really fighting monsters, but you have the casino guards are sort of following you around, making sure you're not doing any bad stuff. And if they see you do bad stuff, they'll attack you. So it's each different scenario has a different unique twist. And
I want to play this more. We played it like 2 or 3.
Yeah, we've played it a couple times.
I really liked it. It's one of the living card game that I don't want to get into myself because I will buy everything. But it's good if you buy it and I can play with you.
Yeah, that's the only downside to it. It's a bit of an investment you have to buy.
Yeah. But I mean, I get the same feeling in that one as I guess in Mansion of Madness, second edition, where it's very similar in theme and all that. So
with this you get the longer campaign, and you're developing your character.
I love that stuff. So it's on my top 50 somewhere. I don't remember where, but I put it in there. So my number 1 is no surprise to some people, and I don't even need to check. I don't know what I'm doing that for, but it's Gaia Project. It's the follow-up to Terra Mystica. It's in space, and it adds so many good stuff that Terra Mystica didn't have. I love Terra Mystica, but this is like you have your favorite TV show or your favorite book or whatever, and they just add more stuff that makes it even better. It's just so amazing. And I don't just love it because my name is on the box. Andreas is as well, because we did the beta testing. But it's cool to have your name on a game box, especially your favorite game. And Gaia Project, and I haven't played it that much either. I played it, I don't know, 8 times or something in total. I mean, still, there's a bunch of stuff to discover, and all the factions. And one thing that I did discover after I got the retail copy from Essen is that the Automa is really good. The solo play is awesome. I mean, the Automa in Viticulture, or in Scythe, or in other games, Shardowstone, it's good. You have that you flip one card and the Automa player does something. But in Gaia Project, they made it even better. It's the same company, the Automa factory. You have 2 cards that you flip, and those cards combine. So you will do this action like that on that card. So you get so many different combinations.
All right.
It's just so smart. Just by having 2 cards instead of 1 for the Automa makes so much difference for the... and also the Automa is really tough. But it's not unbeatable, at least on the normal level. I play the Automa in my solo playthroughs, and I think even it's sort of like, again, with Terraforming Mars playing solo, I really like that I can do my plans somewhat. I mean, in Terraforming Mars nobody messes with the map, but the Automa will mess with the map, so he will stop me. But I can sort of figure out, I know that, okay, this, because he has a faction as well, so depending on which faction the Automa is, he's going to go for different things. So I can sort of see from the beginning, okay, he likes the Transdim planets, the purple ones, he might go a lot for those. That's, if I want to go for them, I have to be quick about it.
Yeah.
So, so great. I could play this game just right now, if these guys would like to. I mean, I could play it anytime. Gaia Project, Ein Terra Mystica Spiel, as it says on my box, because I have the German version. So great. I think it's coming in January or February in English as well, so pick it up if you can. It's so great.
Yeah.
So, last game of the list.
My number 1 was your number 2. Terraforming Mars. For me, the best game. Not gonna add too much to it. Like I mentioned, we played with one of the Frixelius. Enoch Frixelius was here and played with us.
Hi, if you're watching.
In August.
Hi, sorry for beating you.
Yeah, he did a tour through Sweden, and I think this was the first time he lost.
Mm-hmm.
So
we played what, like 20 different cities?
Yeah, and you managed to beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And on our table, we played on two tables. On our table, we played with another expansion that is not yet revealed.
We played with Venus.
Yeah, we played
before
with
it came out.
Exactly, Venus. But also another thing with
unnamed.
Unnamed. Yeah. I'm not gonna say too much, but it involves I think building stuff on moons where you can trade, so you can get resources in other ways. I was just like when we played, I was just messing with that.
Yeah, you were all about that.
Yeah, it was so cool. Well, I didn't get a lot of points, but it was very cool. I know the other table they played another expansion as well, which not yet.
Yeah, unreleased.
Yeah, so.
And that's one thing I love about the game. They are really, I mean, I like with Fricks games. They're really putting out expansions. We got 2 this year. We'll probably get 2 next year or something. I like that. Yeah, the game will keep evolve.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for. It works well with 1 to 5, like from 1 to 5 players. It takes just as long to play with 2 players as 5 players, which is unusual.
Yeah, but it's more fun with like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, I think it's too much downtime with 5.
Yeah, it's
Also on 5, I mean,
depends.
You still do the same terraforming.
Yeah.
So on 2 players, I like it at 2 players if I'm in the mood, but then you pretty much do the half of the thing.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of cards, a lot of stuff going on. In 5 players, I feel it's like you do too little to the terraforming.
Yeah. When we played last time, we were
4.
4. Yeah. I didn't even like touch the heat track.
No.
I didn't touch the board either.
Yeah,
that was weird.
You were not on the
Had
board.
nothing on the board.
And you still won.
No, I came second.
Did you win?
Yeah.
You win. You won big. Yeah.
Amazing game. Looking forward to see the game develop in the future years. I heard, probably rumor, I heard 6 expansions.
Yeah, there's a lot of expansions coming.
Don't know, but yeah, Terraforming Mars, my number 1.
And if you're sitting at home now wondering what is Draco's favorite games, well, you can actually find out, because you can go watch Martin's top 10 list, where Draco sort of just rushed in and did his own top 5. So you can check that out if you want to know what his little dragon likes. He hasn't really said much today. I think he's a bit tired. We were up late having the live co-op Friday last night, so he's So that was top 10 games of all time. I hope that we can be back here next year, and it's exciting to see what happens until then. Maybe there's new games coming that we don't even know about yet. That's going to be awesome.
Top 10 is hard. Like top 20 would have been better.
Yeah,
because there are so many games we can't mention.
We could do that next year.
Yeah.
We could do like top 25 or 50 or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the future. So have a great evening, morning, or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you want to keep this little dragon this happy all day long? Then like the video. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.